Hi, Richard. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So we're here for another a continuation of our session last week. And do you remember what I asked you at the end of last week?
No.
Okay, so I at the end of last week we kind of set a little goal to try to be a little bit more conscientious and a little bit like thinking about what's stressing you out, what you what you're doing to deal with that stress or manage that stress, and what you could be doing to just kind of think about those things over the last week. And so, were you able to do any of those things?
Um, I know what stresses me out, and I know how I handle the stress. What was the third one?
What you could be doing, or what you would like to be doing to help maybe better manage the stress.
I don't know.
So, no luck in the in trying to think of that one, but you're pretty clear on what stresses you out. I know we talked a lot about that in our last session.
Mm-hmm.
It was mainly work.
Yeah.
Okay. And okay, so then today we're gonna try and maybe come up with a little bit better plan to talk about what you could try to do during this following week of maybe better managing that stress. So over this past week, what were you doing to help manage some of your stress?
Well, part of what stresses me out is there's a lot of different things that I need to do in the course of a day,
Mm-hmm.
and so really what I'm doing is I'm just trying to take things one at a time, do things one at a time, you know,
Mm-hmm.
as they come, or you know, not try not to think about everything all at once.
Mm-hmm. So it sounds like you're pulled in a lot of different directions, but you're doing better at focusing on one until it's done and then the next,
Mm-hmm.
rather than spreading yourself too thin, really, more or less.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. Okay, well that's good. Focusing on whatever's in front of you at that time is better than trying to focus on everything. So are there any other things that you're doing to help manage your stress?
Um, I- just talking about it sometimes helps put things into perspective.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to get bogged down with everything, and then just to have somebody listen and just talk through it, and that usually helps.
Mm-hmm. So it sounds like you do have some support and some important people that you're able to talk to. Are these, coworkers?
Yeah,
Mainly?
coworkers. Yeah.
Okay, good. That's good. It's always nice to have that support within your workplace, um, because that's a big thing, and not a lot of people have that. So that's really good. Okay, so you've been talking about it. You've been like kind of compartmentalizing things and working on things as they come instead of everything at once.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any other things that could help you reduce your stress, or that you've noticed that do help reduce your stress when you get stressed out?
Not really. When I get stressed, I just kind of bottle things up,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and then I don't think so.
So sometimes you kind of retreat rather than facing whatever it is.
Well, it's not so much that I retreat. It's just I bottle up the stress and just keep going.
Okay,
Playing my guitar,
that's good.
that helps sometimes
So you enjoy playing your
until it frustrates me. Yeah.
guitar. Okay, well, it's, as it is, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're getting stressed out, what are some of the things you notice, like within your body? What are some of the responses that you have?
I normally don't notice until it's too late. Um, generally, one of the first signs is, I'm always tired.
Mhm.
I get, I don't know, not necessarily less motivated, just tired, um, like physically tired.
Mhm.
You know, I guess that would be the main one. Um,
Kind of like you just want to sleep all day.
Pretty much,
type.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. So are there any things that so that's kind of like an effect of your stress,
Mhm.
right? That's so are there any things that when you're getting stressed out, you're like, okay, this is something that stresses me out right now. Um, do you have any other physical symptoms like do you get a stomach ache? Do you get any of those? And so there's no signs. Do you have any signs of getting stressed? Okay.
Not that I know of. Not that I know of.
Not that you've realized.
Right.
Okay. Okay. That's totally fine. We can maybe during this next week when you're realizing things that are stressing you out or whatever, you can kind of like, how do I feel right now? Just ask yourself that and put it away for next time. Okay, so what are some things? What are some goals we can set for maybe helping you to reduce your stress? So step by step, even the minutest little thing, step by step, how we're going to get to a point where you're able to better manage your stress.
Stalking it out more. I think more communication
Mm-hmm.
Will help me deal with stress better. Is that what you mean?
Yes, exactly. So, who would you go to talk to?
One of my coworkers. Him and I talk quite a bit.
That's good. So he's an important person to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. And then, okay, so we're gonna talk about You're gonna talk about it more with him, and just have that open dialogue between you and he. Okay. Okay. So, why don't you? So you've told me some things that you're doing that have helped relieve your stress, and some things we're still trying to think of some things that might help you more progress further into that. So, why don't you tell me about your week?
It was a long week.
Mm-hmm.
So Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm on. I have to do the TV commercial thing. That is extremely stressful because I hate being on TV. And actually, I just did Tuesday, and then Thursday, it was scheduled for me to go there and to the TV station, and the lady in the office, one of our dispatchers, completely screwed up the schedule, and so it was just a mess, and so nobody knew what was going on, and it was ridiculous. Nobody could make a decision, and so because we had told the TV station that I was going to be there, and me and the guy that does the advertising for the company, and so they when they're setting up the program, they have it set up to where I'll be there, and so for me just to not go, it throws a wrench into the whole thing. It makes it tough. But at the same time, they had customers on the schedule that I was supposed to be there at the exact same time. So, do we make the customer mad, or do we make the people at the TV station mad? And that makes it really tough.
Put you in a pickle, kind of.
Yeah, and so anyways, we got it all sorted out. But you know, it things like that. It's stressful. Plus, we had a guy this week that was um, had a bad attitude and just wasn't doing what he was supposed to at work.
Mm-hmm.
And so I happened to sit him down and talk with him, and he's the type of guy that you can't speak too sternly, or
Mm-hmm.
else
You kind of have to walk that line.
yeah,
Yeah.
and so that's frustrating. I don't know. I don't. It's just a lot of little things like that that keep building and building and building. And
Mm-hmm.
Friday we had a customer that it was a big job that was getting done, and get out there and get about 3/4 of the way through it, almost done with it, and realized that the distributor um, gave us the wrong part,
Mm-hmm.
and so having to deal with all of that, having to go back and you know it was Friday. It's not like we can go back the next day because
Yeah.
they're closed, and these people have been without heating, and it's cold, and so now you got customers that are mad, and anyways, we got that squared away and got them heat.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
That
It's always
sounds
something.
that sounds like there's a lot going on, and there's
Mhm.
not a lot of time to get all these different things done.
Right.
So yeah, I understand how that must feel to you. That's stressful. So in the moment, say for instance, when you were doing the TV and you're getting kind of worked up and you feel yourself getting stressed out, how do you feel? Do you know, angry? You feel anxious? You feel what's your body doing at that point?
When I'm stressed about going on TV, I don't know. I guess it's more nerves than
Mm-hmm.
anything, but that nervousness is also stressful.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know. I've never really thought about it.
Okay, so maybe this coming week will you be doing the TV?
Unfortunately.
Okay, so maybe during this coming week you can, like I said before, kind of put it away for next time and think, hey, this is how I'm feeling. So, in regards to the TV, are you gonna be doing it every week, like
Every
forever?
week, twice a week.
Or
Yeah, the guy that we have that does all of our advertising, he's getting ready to retire, and I think they're wanting me to take over. They haven't said anything like that yet,
Mhm.
but they're having me do the TV now. We're on the radio, and he was gone one week, and they had me go do the radio. The 1 hour long radio show, went and did it by myself, and that sucked, but we did it.
Yeah.
And so they're introducing me to the advertising side of the business, which is fun. It's new,
Mhm.
it's fun, but it's also stressful dealing with that stuff. So.
Mm-hmm. So, do you think, or how do you feel about it progressing to be a more common thing? Do you feel like your nervousness about it might decrease a little, or you think there's that?
My nervousness will definitely decrease. The stress will definitely decrease. Um, somebody once told me stress pays. So if they're willing to pay me to do it, shoot, I'll do it.
Yeah, there's cost benefit,
Right.
like reward, right? There's you
Yeah.
get something out of it. Okay, so so during our session today, we talked about some goals, and we talked about what you were doing, which was you like to play your guitar.
Mm-hmm.
How often do you play your guitar?
Not very often, maybe once a month.
Once a month. So, do you think playing it more often? How would you feel about trying to play it more often?
That would work, but I work a lot,
Mhm.
And so between work and then um, getting home and spending time with family, I don't really have time to play guitar.
Yeah, because you work quite a ways away.
Yeah.
Right. You got a little bit of commute on
Yeah.
you. Okay. So that's
My average day is like 10 to 12 hours.
so you wake up, you leave, you come home, and go back to bed again.
Yeah.
It's kind of that's your routine. Okay. So, um, so yeah, you play your guitar, you ride your motorcycle. We talked about that last time. But in both of those, it sounds like you'd want to play more
Mm-hmm.
or do more. Sorry, you don't play your motorcycle, but you ride it. Do more of that, um, and then some other things. Just being more conscientious of what is going on when you're getting stressed out, and that might help you to stop it before it happens or know your trigger. So that's always a good one. So sorry, I lost my train of thought for just a second.
It's okay.
Okay. So yeah, we'll reconvene next week and we'll meet and maybe talk about again some of the things. If you this next week can try to be a little bit more um, conscientious of that and noticing it. Now that you've got some key moments to try and aim for and be like, how do I feel right now? And just walk yourself through it and kind of, have you heard the term mindful, being mindful? Okay, so do you know what it means to be mindful?
Pay attention, basically.
Mm-hmm. So pay attention to what? Yourself and things around everything. Being mindful of even the smallest little thing, and just noticing it and consciously thinking about it. So maybe practice some of that this next week, and we'll talk about how it goes next week. Okay?
Cool.
Thank you.
You're welcome.